Visualization of the castle that stood at Finlaggan during the 12th and 13th centuries credit David Simon via Society of Antiquities of Scotland for nearly 3 centuries. Scotland's Western Isles were ruled by men who considered themselves kings equal to those in Edinburgh or London. The island of Islay was the seat of the Lordship of the Isles, but evidence of a castle from an earlier period, as well as finds from a palatial complex built on a lake, confirm where these lords held their thrones for the first time. Revealed in a new book by the preeminent expert on the subject, Dr. David Caldwell, the centre of power was the area of Finlaggan, specifically on 2 islets set atop the waters of Loch Finlaggen. The Lordship of the Isles was a quasi-independent state of political and cultural importance in the 14th and 15th centuries. With control of the islands off the west coast, Argyll, and a vast ealdorment of Ross in the Highlands, the Lords of the Isles were powerful chiefs with royal pretensions, treating with English and Scottish kings as if they were on a par with them. They referred to themselves as Rainscoil King of the Isles in Gaelic and have long been recognised by historians as an important phenomenon, a serious challenger to the Stuart dynasty for control of much of Scotland. The Lordship of the Isles was heavily militarised, Caldwell tells Outlet. The real measure of its lords' power lay in their ability to field an army of 6,000 or more professional warriors and ship them overseas to the Scottish mainland and Ireland. It was believed that the 2 islands in Loch Finlaggan were the centre from which Clan MacDonald Lords of the Isles inaugurated their own kings or lords between 1300 and 1500 CE. However, the historical record for the site itself is meagre, and there are no contemporary medieval documents which specifically identify it as a place of any importance. Detailed in his new book, The Archaeology of Finlaggan, Islay, there was indeed a palatial complex on the 2 islets in the loch. During excavations and research that spanned 3 decades, Caldwell also uncovered evidence of Finlaggan as a centre of power and ritual back across millennia, from prehistoric times to the Viking Age to a previously unknown royal castle belonging to 12th and 13th century kings of the Isles, the ancestors of the MacDonalds who rose to the height of their power in the 14th and 15th centuries. Finlaggan on the island of Islay, in a drone photograph, credit Open Virtual Worlds at the University of St Andrews. Archaeological evidence reveals that a unique castle occupied 2 islands in Loch Finlaggan, a large stone tower on one, which provided living quarters and extra security for the king or lord, around which were kitchens, a chapel, with a burial ground, houses, workshops, and a great hall, where feasting took place. Also check out herd of bulls headed to the Highlands to recreate effect of ancient auroch oxen on Scottish soil. Then, on a smaller island connected via a causeway, a stone once stood that is estimated to have been approximately 19 by 19 metres overall, making it comparable in size to stone keeps in England like those in the castles of Carlisle, Bamberg and Lancaster. As the erection of large rectangular stone towers was essentially limited to great Anglo-French lords and kings in Britain and Ireland, the castle can be interpreted as a political statement, as well as a sign of the wealth and connections of the ruling class. The castle may have been dismantled because it was structurally unsound or due to enemy action before the palace at Finlaggan began to take shape in the 14th century and the lordship was taken by Clan Donald or MacDonald's. Scottish News archaeologists to excavate Glasgow's first skate park with the help of former skateboarders. There are about 4,000 American families who can trace their genealogy to members of Clan Donald, although the Lordship of the Isles is currently held by Prince William. The researchers hope their 3 decades of work at Finlaggan will provide an important foundation for future historians working to understand the site's historical significance, writes Smithsonian.